What is up, everybody? This is episode 93 of the Wild Nutrition Podcast, and I'm your host, Chris Heskett. And today is Coffee Talk Friday. So, as I said last week, we're switching over to this because I feel like Coffee Talk Friday is more of the vibe than Unapologetic Friday. That's just the vibe it's been going. I might switch it back, but we're going with this route. So, still going to be the same thing. I'm going to put 15 minutes on the clock. It's raw. It's unedited. I'm probably going to curse on here, but I don't feel like I have to randomly piss myself off about something, even though I was kind of pissed off at a comment I saw this morning on something. I just haven't been dealing with as much of the bullshitty part of the fitness world recently. So I feel like I don't have as much content to talk about in an Apologetic Fridays sort of situation. But I can with a Coffee Talk Friday. So if I get ramped up, I will probably add in a disclaimer of hey, this is going to be a really passionate episode. Today's not. Today's going to be more of a regular episode. Educational, still straight to the point, not editing anything, just going off the few notes I have, just like usual. So we're going to be talking about when you don't have enough time, or I'm not in the right mindset, it is not the right time for me, or any of those other things. What are the things you can or should be doing during that time? So a lot of people will come to me and ask either on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, oh, well, I want to lose weight, but now's not the right time. I want to get healthier, but now's not the right time. I want to do these things, but I don't have time to work out, to do all the things. And that's an excuse. It is self-sabotage. It is a way to justify not taking action because you have a all or nothing mentality. And if it's not perfect, I'm not going to do it at all. Also, it is wrapping up everything into weight loss, where the goal of eating well, of working out, of improving your sleep quality, of improving your overall health is not to lose weight. Weight loss is a byproduct of getting healthier. It's getting rid of excess adipose tissue, excess body fat. It is not the goal. A weight loss phase is a phase. You lose the weight and then you may have to maintain that weight, and that's where you continue with everything you are doing. You're just eating more calories now and more food, and you can focus on other things. So if you are in this phase, or maybe you're just burnt out, you're I'm so sick of weight loss. Yeah, we all get sick of it. We all get burnt out, and we need to change things up, which is why I recommend doing things in phases and breaking up your years. Some people can kind of grind it out for 6 months, and some people need to change it up every 8 to 12 to 16 weeks, depending on what phase you're in. So if you break it up into 12 weeks, that's every quarter, every 3 months, you are changing what phase you're in. So if you need to lose weight, well, 2 out of the 4 quarters in the year might be weight loss. And then the other 2, you can focus on other things. We are currently going into the holiday season. I consider October 31st the kickoff of the holiday season, where for many people it is very challenging to lose weight. And people will just quit altogether their exercise, their nutrition, everything. Why? Because 2 parties threw them off, and so they just throw their hands up fuck it, I'll start in the new year. Not realizing hey, just maintaining your weight and not gaining any weight's also a win, or you're working out, you're doing this for the wrong reasons. So stop focusing just on weight loss. Weight loss will come as a byproduct of the actions you take. Weight loss, kind of like in business, you earn money, or even if you have a job, you want a job to make money. Well, yeah, I kind of have to live, but also money comes from a byproduct of doing your job. It's not okay, I get hired and then it's automatically money starts rolling into your account. You have to go to work. So as a byproduct of the work, you get money. Weight loss is a byproduct of the actions you are taking. But those actions also have really important health outcomes. So if you're in that phase where maybe you can't focus on weight loss going into the holiday season, where probably this weekend a lot of people are going to be getting Halloween candy and you're going to have Halloween candy in your house. Or maybe you're just burnt out. It's just not the right time, whatever the reason. There are other things you can be doing that don't take up a lot of time. For example, you're probably eating 3 times per day already, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if you're not, that's something you can start doing right now. Eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is one thing you can start doing. Hey, when I lose weight, I know I need to do X. You know what you can do? Do that now. If you're not eating enough protein, maybe you should go and eat more protein. You know, instead of doom scrolling on social media, if you don't know what 100 grams, 150 grams of protein is in a day, you probably should start by learning about that. It'll take you 5 minutes, 10 minutes at most to Google that really quick, and there you go. There's your answer. And if you don't, why the fuck not? Like, if you're spending a ton of time on social media, you can look it up on social media. So if you're not eating enough protein, start trying to eat more protein. If it's not protein, maybe you're hitting your protein goal. Or maybe that's not where you want to start. You can focus more on fiber. You can try to hit 20 to 30 grams of fiber, or 10 to 15 grams of fiber per 1,000 calories you eat per day. And if you're in weight loss phase and you're under 2,000, I still recommend at least 20 grams of fiber in your diet. Even if it's like, oh, well, I'm only eating 1,500, great. Aim for 20 grams of fiber minimum. So you can start by doing that. Why? Well, most things that have fiber are minimally processed or unprocessed foods. It's not potato chips. It's whole potatoes. It's oatmeal. It's fruits and veggies, not juice, not a veggie juice, not the greens powder. It is minimally processed foods. You are just swapping out the meals you're doing and putting those in. Or it's adding more beans to a dish you're already making. It is adding, swapping out regular pasta for whole grain pasta, or regular pasta for like chickpea pasta. There are things you can do, and you're going to be trying to bump that fiber intake up. Fiber is going to help overall with your health. The people who get enough fiber, research shows, and yes, there are problems with research, but in general, it's found that people who eat more fiber reduce all-cause mortality. So all causes of death are reduced when people eat fiber. So you can start there. We're not even focused on weight loss. We're just focused on you getting a little bit healthier, feeling better, having more energy, having better poops. That is the focus here. The byproduct is, because you are going to be eating more minimally processed foods, those foods have less calories in them. It also takes more energy to digest them, and then you absorb less energy from them. Let me repeat that. Those foods have less energy. A potato, pound for pound, has less energy in it than potato chips. Same food group, one's just fried and super crispy and delicious. The other one is still delicious. However, you're not eating the equivalent, like in a bag of potato chips. How many potatoes do you think you have eaten when you eat a whole bag of that? You're not doing that if you're eating, what are you going to max out at? 2 baked sweet potatoes, 2 whole russet potatoes? That's where you're maxing out at. You're like, oh my God, I don't want another bite. Versus like you could do that no problem with like a bag of chips. I don't know what like a bag of chips is, if that's like a whole potato in there or what. But anyways, back to my point. The potato has less calories in it. Because it's a whole food, takes more energy for your digestive system to break that down for you to absorb the calories. So part of your metabolism, there's different components. You might have heard of NEAT. That's when we talk about steps. BMR is your basal metabolic rate. That's how many calories you burn each day to stay alive. You have your actual exercise. And then the other one that not a lot of people talk about is, what's the TEF? TEF, thermic effective food. It takes energy to digest food. So this is where like protein is really important, because that takes the most energy to digest. But just regular old food takes energy to digest. And fiber is carbohydrate that you can't absorb, hence fiber, which is why you poop it out. You don't absorb it, you don't get the calories from it. And that's the concept of net carbs. But you also absorb less calories from it. So something that's not commonly talked about because it makes things kind of confusing, but that's today's subject, and we have a little bit of time left to talk about it. You don't absorb 100% of the calories in there. And this is where different people's digestive tracts and microbiomes affect the calories absorbed. So some people absorb more calories than other people. And this is something that's genetic, or it's in your microbiome, or a combination thereof. And why, if you take a 150-pound person at, say, 20% body fat, they're both males or they're both females and they're both 25, and you give them the exact same diet, exact same workout program, they might get two different results. This is one reason why, and why you can't just like blindly follow diet. It's why things need to adapt. This is one reason. So, but in general, say you absorb from chips or something, you absorb like 90, 95, even 99% of those calories. It's very easy for those to break down. Sugar, easy to break down and be absorbed. White flour, very easy to break down. Doesn't take much energy for your body to break it down, and very easy for your body to absorb those calories. This is great in survival situations. However, most of us listening to a podcast, streaming from a computer, phone, or TV, probably not in survival situation. Probably have a roof over your head, and your grocery budget isn't going to like rice and beans every week. It's like, how do we fit in like sockeye salmon into our budget? A little bit different situation. So, and if you're trying to lose weight, chances are that's usually a cause for eating too many calories. But again, focus isn't necessarily on weight loss. The reason you can eat more than ever and lose weight, this is one reason. One, less calories in whole foods. You absorb, say, 80% or 75% of the calories that are in there, and then it takes more energy to digest that food. So taking our baked potato, it's 100 calories. Let's say 100 calories of baked potato, 100 calories of potato chips. Potato chips, out of the 100 calories, you might net 90 to 95. That's what your body's going to use. Out of that potato, you're going to net, say, 100 calories. Well, some of that's going to be fiber, so you don't absorb that. I forget I'm not sure the fiber. I literally am going off the cuff, so I don't have these numbers. So these are rounded. These are not exact numbers, but let's say you get a gram or two of fiber. Well, that's going to be, let's say it's 2 grams of fiber in there. Well, we already know that carbs have 4 calories per gram. So automatically out of the 100, that's minus 8. So 2 grams of fiber. So minus 8 calories there. We're going to net, say, 80% of what remains of the 92. We're going to absorb what remains of the 92%. Or 92 calories, we're going to net 80%, so that's 70 something. And then it's going to take some energy to digest. Not a ton of energy, but it'll be another like 5 to 10 calories. Probably closer to 10 calories. So you can see the net. The net is something in like the 50s to 60s for the potato versus 90 to 95 calories for the potato chips. Minimally processed food, highly refined food. This isn't to say you can't have these refined foods, but it is a major reason why you might eat a diet high in those and be like, well, I'm eating 1,200 calories. I don't know why I can't lose weight. Well, maybe you actually need more like a little bit less. So you need to eat more minimally processed foods. Or you're like, well, the calorie calculator told me to do this, but you're eating a ton of processed things because guess what else is processed? Protein powders. Are they convenient? Yes, but they don't take the same amount of energy, which is one of the benefits of protein. For every 100 calories you eat, it takes 25 calories to actually digest that protein. So you burn a quarter of what you actually take in. So, and then we're going to get into bioavailability and stuff and like actual absorption, but you're going to absorb more out of whey protein. It's going to take less energy with whey protein. So protein bars, things of that nature, are going to take less energy to digest, which is why 80% of your diet should be minimally processed foods, ideally. And if you're not there yet, you can work your way there. And again, going back to weight loss, and we have like 1 minute left. Going back to weight loss or not focusing on weight loss, you can just focus on protein and fiber and minimally processed foods with your meals and have zero expectation of weight loss. And you know what probably is going to happen? You're either going to maintain your weight during a crazy time where you generally gain weight, say like the holidays, or you'll actually lose weight. You have zero expectations. You're putting zero pressure on yourself. You're not stressing out about the scale. You are simply just changing up your diet. And we're just focusing on nourishing the body, eating healthier foods, reducing really processed things, but no expectations. And you can lose weight with that. But if you put all the pressure on and you're like, oh, this is a terrible time of year, but I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do it because I want to look really good for this dress come New Year's. And you can do that. However, it is a ton of stress, and then you're going to be going through all the parties and everything else, which can put a ton of pressure and it can demoralize you. Or you can have zero expectations going into it. Lastly, because our minute's up, but we're going to continue anyways, because I haven't even touched about exercise. A lot of people are like, I exercise to lose weight. And your whole thing about exercise is just burning calories. It's not about feeling better. It's not about moving your body, getting stronger, making your daily life easier, improving the quality of your life. That's what exercise is actually about. It is not about weight loss. In fact, exercise can help with weight loss, but if you just do exercise by itself, it's jack shit for weight loss. And I worked in a gym and saw this for 9 years. What's it, 9 years? 7 years at Gage. 1 year, that's 8. So, and then 9 years. 9 years in-person training. 9 years. Like doing mental math, I'm like, oh my God. 9 years in-person training. People who don't do any dietary changes don't lose weight because exercise will increase your appetite. So you're not going to get the changes you want unless you make those changes. Again, and this is why some people, going back to food quality, will exercise and they'll go on the MLM plans, and some people will get results and some people won't. That's all highly refined food, guys. All highly refined. I have to shit on it on Unapologetic Friday. I have to shit on the MLM somewhere in here because fuck them. But exercise is not about that. So exercise is good for your mental health. Like, put zero expectations on it. It's a terrible time for me to work out and do, all I can do is like twice a week get out for walks. Great, so start there. And the reason we're starting with simple, we're gonna like eat minimally processed food, focus on protein, drink water, get enough sleep, eat fiber, get steps in, or like get basic workouts in. Like, hey, like my workouts, like I go for a 15-minute walk, I do a plank, push-ups, and some bodyweight squats or lunges, because that's all I have time for. I do 3 rounds of that. That's it. Fantastic. Do that. Are your results going to be absolutely amazing? No. Are they going to be 100 times better than if you do nothing at all? Yes. And when the time comes that you are ready, like, okay, my schedule's cleared up, I can really focus on me right now, and I can really get into a workout plan. Guess what? You've already laid that foundation. You can jump into a plan. There's no like guessing like, oh, what movement should I do? Or, oh, what should I? You've already slowly built a habit. It's not overwhelming. You're like, okay, I'm ready to make a change. And this is what a lot of people do. And then it's like, okay, you need to eat more protein. We need to eat more fiber. We need to make sure we're getting sleep in, drink water. And then we're going to work out 2 to 4 times per week. And you're like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. I have to figure out how to fit. Or if you're not ready for that change, start with one thing. Start with eating protein. then that's going to lead into maybe like working on your fiber. Then it's going to be like, wow, it's way easier to hit my fiber goal if I just eat more whole foods. So I'm eating more minimally processed foods. Wow, I feel a lot better. I have more energy. But hey, I could fit in like a quick like walk. I mentally feel better when I get walks in. I'm going to get some more walks in during my day. Hey, like maybe I should just add in like some push-ups here or there. And next thing you know, you're doing an actual program. You're working out consistently. You're eating well, but you've set zero expectations of, I am aiming for this transformation. Instead, you are getting a transformation. You're heading in the right direction. You're improving your health. And then when you're ready to like dial it up to level 10, like you're at level like 3 right now, and you're like, okay, time to go all in, you can. You don't get overwhelmed. You're just like, what's the next thing? Okay. I have all this stuff. I kind of know calories. I kind of know macros. I really haven't tracked other than protein. And I kind of have a good idea for my fiber. I know I'm getting anywhere between 15 and 25 grams per day. Awesome. Okay. It is now time to level up, and then you can. It's not overwhelming. So during this time, this is a time of year where I've seen many people, when I was in-person training, just fall off. Just like 1 week they're there, and then next thing you know, you don't see them until the New Year's. And they're like, oh, I'm too busy because of all the holiday things. Really, like, there's not that much in the way of holiday things, guys. So this will be the last thing, because I'm like, I see the timer, and it's not really the subject, but it's important to get this out, so it's like the subject of today's episode. When we look at holidays, I consider Halloween the kickoff of the season, because you're about to get Halloween candy in there if you celebrate Halloween or have trick-or-treaters. And a lot of people get it way too early, and then they overeat. So one, it's that time of year. And people will fall off because they think they can't make any changes, so they don't do anything until the new year. You can still do stuff, because Halloween is one day. Thanksgiving is one day. Black Friday, the day after, is one day. And even if you have the entire weekend. So let's say it's about 60 days total for the holiday season. So Halloween is one day. Let's say you leave Thanksgiving. And these are predictable, guys. Like, they show up every year. We know every single year. Halloween's the 31st. Thanksgiving's the last Thursday of... sorry. People, of course, are calling me during a podcast, and my Do Not Disturb didn't go on. Like I said, this is unedited, so you're hearing that. So for Thanksgiving, it's predictable. Christmas is predictable. New Year's, it's predictable. It's the same fucking time every single year. It does. People are like, oh, that happened so quick. It does. It kind of sneaks up on you, but you also know, like, hey, like December 1st, it is December 24th is Christmas Eve. Like, it doesn't like, you're like, oh shit, I didn't realize today was X, Y, and Z. Like some of the lesser known holidays, unless you have kids in school, you're like, oh, I didn't know it was I totally forgot it's Martin Luther King Day, or it's Flag Day, or some random things like that. You don't really realize unless you have jobs. I never had jobs where we were off on those days, so still not off on those days. But Halloween's one day. Thanksgiving, you might leave Wednesday to go to family, and you might not get back till, say, Sunday night, Monday. Okay, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's 6 days. Then Christmas. Okay, we have some holiday parties here or there. Let's add 4 more days for holiday parties. So we're at 6 days. That's 10 days. Christmas, let's just add another 4 days. That's 14 days. New Year's and New Year's Eve, 16 days. Out of the 60 days, that's 16. You got plenty of time. So even if we increased it another 4 days for holiday parties and other things that come up, out of the 60 days, 2/3 are wide open for you to exercise, work out, do these other things. 1/3 of the days, if you're crazy busy schedule, are at times where you might not. Maybe you get a walk in on those days. Your diet's probably going to be off. It's going to be excess alcohol. So 20 out of the 60 days might not be great. You know what you can do though? The other 40 days, you can try to do things. And even if the 40 days, you just did the half of it. That means 1/3 of this time you spend working out and watching your diet. 1/3 was like, oh, iffy. And 1/3 was like totally off. That's way better than just not doing anything between now and New Year's. So instead of 100% being off, like, okay, like 33%, or maybe it's 40%, or maybe it's 50%. Like, hey, like I got 30 out of the 60 days I got in. That's 50% of the days. I did pretty good. Chances are you're going to feel way better going to January 1st than if you just took all that time off. Anyways, we're approaching 30 minutes. That's going to be it today, guys. So thanks for tuning in. As always, if you have any questions, make sure to reach out and drop a comment. If Spotify, you can drop comments now. So drop a comment, leave a review, as that is always appreciated. And as always, check out the links down below. We have a few courses down there, but we do have something in the works. So actually, you know what? That is Monday. We are announcing something. So Monday's podcast, no, it won't be on Monday's podcast because I record that over the weekend. So it won't be there, but we do have something coming out being announced on Monday. So the Facebook group, which is in the link down below, make sure you join that. That's going to be the first place to kind of find the info if you're not already a client. Facebook or the email, not any of my email links. If you're not on Alex's, I think I put that down there. I don't have it up, the links I put in the show notes. I think the complete nutrition course is down below. If it's not, go to her, Alex Allen, the Alex Allen on Instagram, and sign up for the complete nutrition course. For email, if you're in the Facebook group and you dropped your email for the Facebook group, I put you in there. But if you just want to wait, you can also just wait for Alex to announce on Instagram or my Instagram as well, which the links to my Instagram and TikTok are down below. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. As always, appreciate you guys. Happy fucking Friday.